Watch to the end of this video if you want to see who is in this photo. Hello creative people, this is Catherine with the Motley Art, and I have a process video showing how I created a 6x6 layout. So this is a stash bash type of project. So I used items from Stars and Sparklers by Close to My Heart. I do not believe these items are any longer available, but please watch my whole video so you can get some inspiration on how to use some of your stash. So I ended up using a good bit of solid cardstock along with pattern paper, and in this particular collection, the pattern paper that I loved the most was this flowered pattern paper they had that had these beautiful red flowers on it, and I'm about to bring that out to cut it here. I just love this paper so much, and I really wanted this layout to kind of focus on that. I wanted this paper to be a real showstopper to this layout. So the first thing that I did was to cut down a solid layer that went behind the pattern paper, because I also just really love that red, and I just really wanted to pop that red out. I just thought it would be so beautiful. So I love blue. I have to say blue is my favorite color outside of black, but I love blue. And I love red and blue together. I just think they're so striking and they look so good together. And I do like this Scarlet red. I love Scarlet red, which by Close to My Heart, that's what this is. If you want a little bit more information, I'll have information in the description if there is any of the papers or anything available still, but I'm pretty sure they're not, because this was from July. Yeah, this was out during July. This is actually more of a July 4th type collection, but I just loved that flowers, and I felt like, you could use it for whatever, whenever, and that's what I'm going to do. And it would have helped if I had measured before I started cutting that darker blue, but I ended up deciding to switch up to the red again. That way I ended up keeping that red kind of consistent, and I was going to get more of the red than the blue color anyways, which again, I really love those flowers and I wanted them to pop out. So putting the red consistently as my solid cardstock really helps to bring that color out to you more than the blue. Even though there's a lot of blue in here, the red is what to me really pops out. So I loved that. I really wanted that. I do really like that Celebrate paper, and at first I thought that's what I wanted there, but when I was working on cutting everything out, I realized that once I put my photo on top, you're going to miss so much of that. You're not going to be able to read any of it, that I liked the stars better because I liked the blue better behind it. So that's why I ended up flipping over that pattern paper and using the stars with the blue background instead of using the Celebrate. Even though I think that Celebrate's so much fun and festive, I just thought this worked better. So I'm just kind of gluing down all of the layers that I know this is how I'm going to have them. So again, this is kind of going to be a fairly simple spread, but I really wanted that paper to be a focal point. So then I took out, this is gold foil sticker from Cricut. So I had cut some strips with it using my Cricut maker, and I decided I wanted to add that as a little bit of an accent in the middle there. Now, I wasn't sure I got it completely straight, so I was going to try to redo it one more time, but it kind of teared my paper a little bit. So that's why I was like, nope, we're just going to leave it here now. And so I just cut off the edges. I decided I didn't want them to go over the cardstock. I just wanted it on the pattern paper. And then I'm going to add one more line here in just a moment, because I felt like the one made it look like I was sectioning it from like a top and a bottom, when you put 2 or 3 lines, then that doesn't so much look like you're sectioning your paper off anymore. It just looks like a design element. And that's what I wanted, this to feel like a design element. I wanted to bring out more gold because I had these star sequins that I was going to add as well, and they're gold. So I just really wanted to repeat gold onto this paper. I just thought it would look so pretty together. It looks really nice with the red and the blue. Even though, I mean, I think metallics go with everything almost. I like to put, gold and silver with pretty much anything. Silver would have probably looked good here as well, but I thought the gold stars, I don't know, I was feeling in a golden mood when I was making this, so I decided to go with that instead. Now I am using here some scrap chipboard that I have. As you can see, it was cereal boxes, and I'm just layering it up twice so it'll give me a nice bit of dimension for my photo mat. And so I'm just adding it to the back, and then I'm going to put that down. Now I am using the Tombow Aqua glue, and let me tell you, that stuff comes out so easily. You barely have to push on the bottle to get any to come out. You pretty much just have to tip it over and let gravity do its work. And that's the secret with that glue, because you do not want a ton of it. It is very, very wet, so it will warp your paper if you put too much on. But if you put just a little bit on, it's wonderful. It's very strong. It's going to hold whatever it is you're trying to put on there, and it's great. But getting used to the bottle and getting used to not pushing down is tricky because it's so thin. It's not like white glue. White glue is thick, and so you have to push a little bit to get it out. Now, I decided that I wanted to add a little tab, and I also have a sentiment there that I did stamp out, and I just used regular black intense ink by Close to My Heart to stamp all of that information. And then I'm going to add that to my layout. And so the cat's probably out of the bag a little bit here. If you can read that sentiment, that this is a birthday spread, and I'm about to change up that sentiment just a little bit. I love that sentiment. I think it's beautiful. I thought the stamp set that it came in was great, but the sentiment, I was like, oh, that is it's a great size. It's so pretty, but it says to you, and I needed it to say to me because this is my birthday layout. September is my birthday month, and as we all know, in scrapbooking, you don't usually get to scrapbook exactly when your event was. Usually you're scrapbooking a little bit after the event because you took the pictures at the event. Now, sometimes we know something's coming up. We'll make scrapbooks in getting prepared for that event, like a wedding or, like a holiday. But in this case, I didn't know that I was going to make a birthday spread, but then I decided I just love this paper and I wanted to go ahead and make a birthday spread for myself. So that's what I'm doing, and as you could probably guess, the 44 is my age. So instead of having to do a ton of journaling, I just kind of added some elements that's going to do the journaling for me. And I wanted to put on one of the little hearts. Well, at first I thought maybe I could put on a few hearts, but then I realized one was enough. So I added that to the tab before I stuck it underneath of my photo spot. And now I'm going to cut out the me, and I'm going to do my best to try to cut it out similar to how my sentiment is, so that when I add it on, it's not too jarring. It kind of looks like it belongs. I mean, as you can see, I made the print much bigger than what that sentiment print is, but that's okay. You should emphasize things that are about yourself, right? Self-love is what this is all about. So I'm going to add that down at the bottom. And this ended up being very simplistic. I don't end up putting a ton more well, I'm not going to put anything more other than the glitter gems that I had earlier. So I have the sequins and the glitter gems and some of that vinyl, but I just think it's really pretty and it's just really elegant, and I love that paper. I know I've said it like 10 times, but I just do. And so for the finishing touch, here is a picture of me. And now you have seen my face on screen. If you've watched for this long, thank you so much. I hope you subscribe to see the next layout that I do. If you liked what I did, please push the like button below, and I hope that you have a very creative day.